Welcome back to ZNGP today. Fresh from another Brno victory, his fifth straight sprint/GP double, Marc Márquez spoke candidly about his championship mindset. Back on familiar ground after injury layoffs, the Ducati star revealed how his adaptability, calm under pressure, and relentless pursuit keep him locked onto the number one plate. As he approaches the last 10 races, one thing is clear: the only way he won't be champion is by his own mistake. While Marc Márquez continued his unassailable form at Brno, claiming his fifth straight sprint/GP double, Ducati technical director Gigi Dall'Igna faced tougher questions. After both Marquez and Pecco Bagnaia battled tire pressure issues on Saturday, Dall'Igna broke down what went wrong, took responsibility for Bagnaia's missed podium, and warned that rivals are closing the gap, prompting an urgent call for development before the summer break. Yamaha's Fabio Quartararo crossed the line sixth in Brno, a result that reflects both his consistency and the deep-rooted struggles of his M1. Despite trying a completely new setup, the 2021 world champion found himself facing the same recurring issues: poor grip, slow starts, and limited braking stability. With the summer break ahead, Quartararo is eager to reset after a mentally exhausting first half of the season. Jack Miller charged through the pack at Brno, climbing from 10th to 8th early on, only to be hamstrung by a sudden engine braking failure in the closing laps. The Pramac Yamaha ace had to completely rethink his braking strategy on the fly, ultimately sliding back to 11th before a post-race penalty reshuffled him to 10th. Here's how Miller managed the unexpected mechanical setback, and what lies ahead during the MotoGP summer break. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Marquez compared his current performance to his best pre-injury days in 2019, citing both control and hunger as driving forces. "I've found myself in this first part of the season where I left off before the injury, in 2019, with great control of the bike and situations. We make mistakes, we're human, but with a different kind of calm, and with the same hunger. That's what makes the difference." Marquez's statement. When asked where he'd like to seal the title, Marquez firmly refused to pinpoint a race, instead revealing his honest mindset for the season's run-in. "I'm approaching the last 10 races of the World Championship with the mentality that I can only lose. So if I have to manage a race, I'll manage it, but if I can win like I did here, I'll try." No bravado, just a clear-eyed admission that, with a 120-point cushion, any slip-up would cost him the crown. The checkered flag smile in Brno followed both the thrill of a last corner pass and the steadier satisfaction of a controlled victory. "One of the wins I enjoyed most was the sprint in Germany. The adrenaline rush is different. But winning like this is even better, it's a little calmer. I've adapted to a riding style that lets me go fast with a lower heart rate." By refining his approach after injury, Marquez combines raw pace with emotional control, turning his bike into an extension of his calm determination. Marquez lauded the ability to adapt to changing conditions, riding 5 different Ducatis to the top 4 spots in the standings. "Versatility is key. This first part of the season has tested me in many ways, and I've adapted. We have the best bike, and the standings prove it, second on a satellite Ducati, third, fourth. Whether it's electronics tweaks, tire choices, or weather swings, Marquez's chameleon-like skill set has left rivals chasing shadows." Offering his take on Marquez and Pecco Bagnaia, Marc showed both empathy and respect, recognizing struggles behind the results. "Alex had a great preseason, and Pecco struggled under factory pressure. He broke a finger, crashed on lap 1, but he would have been on the podium, too, if not for that." Even at the top, Marquez keeps a finger on the grid's pulse, understanding that each rival's journey shapes the battles ahead. Marquez explained how modern aero makes close-quarters racing tougher, demanding higher respect and precision from those following. "Now, with these aerodynamics, It's not comfortable to ride in another's slipstream. Everyone fights to be in front. As a champion, you expect rivals to respect you, and you earn that in training and races, not on the microphone. Marc Márquez's Brno debrief wasn't full of superlatives, but of honesty. From his calm control to his ruthless mindset, he's built a championship machine both metaphorical and mechanical. With 10 races to go, his candor sends a clear message. The only person who can stop Marquez is Marquez himself. Marquez and Bagnaia both encountered front tire pressure anomalies during Saturday's sprint, sacrificing track position to nurse the issue. We have software monitoring tire pressures, but on the grid restart something went wrong and the dashboard displayed an incorrect message. Small errors like this happen when you're adjusting manually. Dall'Igna statement. A glitch in Ducati's anti-panic system forced both riders to back off early, underscoring how even top teams can be tripped up by the smallest oversight. Despite commanding pace all weekend, Bagnaia finished fourth, just off the podium, and Dall'Igna admitted the team's setup contributed to his undoing. Pecco had an excellent race. He deserved a podium. It's not that Acosta had a bad race. Pecco deserved a little more satisfaction, especially after Saturday. He had bad luck because of us. Dall'Igna pinpointed empty tank balance shifts as the culprit, conceding that weight distribution changes undermined Bagnaia's confidence under braking and in transitions. While Bagnaia struggled, Marc Márquez remained flawless, yet even Dall'Igna reserved praise for the reigning champion's machine reliability. Marc has now achieved 5 consecutive double victories. The numbers speak for themselves. We know where we excel, and we know where we must improve. Even Ducati's benchmark rider isn't immune to tire quirks, but Marquez's ability to manage them masked any hint of vulnerability. Aprilia and KTM showed marked strength in Brno, while satellite Ducatis also challenged at the front. Dall'Igna sounded the alarm. Our rivals have lifted their heads. The advantage we had early in the season has diminished, so it's time to get back to work instead of thinking about holidays. With the summer break looming, Ducati must accelerate development or risk ceding momentum in a tightly contested championship. Ducati's cautious approach to winter upgrades has left them vulnerable to mid-season stagnation, according to Dall'Igna. We were very conservative with developments at the start of the year, so it was predictable performance would plateau. Now the time has come to find better solutions. The call is clear: evolve the chassis, tweak electronics, and refine aero before rivals exploit Ducati's mid-season lull. Beyond race setup, Dall'Igna is re-evaluating Ducati's pre-start protocols to prevent repeat tire pressure misreads. There are many verification strategies that require special attention. When unforeseen events occur, especially on the grid, small errors slip in. We're working on it. Ensuring flawless grid procedures may be the first step toward restoring confidence and reclaiming the performance edge. Brno exposed cracks in Ducati's weekend armor, tire pressure glitches, balance woes, and a narrowing development window. Yet with Marquez's pace still blindingly bright, the Italian manufacturer faces a dual challenge: support their champion's march and rescue Bagnaia's form. As rivals gather strength, Ducati's post-break upgrades may prove decisive in the hunt for 2025 glory. Quartararo lost ground early, dropping multiple positions within the first 4 laps, an all-too-familiar pattern. We're still struggling in the first 5 laps. That's where we're trying to improve. But after that, the pace we had is the pace we have right now. Fabio Quartararo's statement. The Frenchman was overtaken by Bezzecchi, Acosta, Bastianini, and Fernandez early on. Although he recovered to P6, the damage was already done, and the Yamaha's inability to launch and fight in traffic remains glaring. Yamaha tried a fresh setup Sunday morning, offering brief hope. But Quartararo confirmed the core problems remain unchanged. It was good to try a different bike, but the problems were really similar. We're lacking a lot of grip. While the test configuration provided a different feel, The same underlying weaknesses reappeared, especially in pack racing, where grip and braking stability are crucial. Quartararo explained how the M1's braking dynamics put him at a severe disadvantage when riding behind rivals. When I'm behind someone, they brake with both wheels, while we only brake with the front. I have to brake 20 meters earlier. That's why we struggle in the race, especially in the first 5 laps. Yamaha's inline-4 engine and outdated electronics limit rear-wheel braking, a key factor in today's aggressive braking zones. That early handicap leaves Quartararo playing catch-up every Sunday. Quartararo outlined how Yamaha's problems go beyond grip, citing a long-standing engine issue and electronic shortcomings. The problem is engine braking and also throttle opening. Actually, we don't have just one problem. We have many that we're trying to solve. Yamaha's V4 rivals, Ducati, Aprilia, KTM, benefit from better engine characteristics and more refined traction control. Quartararo knows a full package upgrade is needed, not minor tweaks. With Brno in the books and frustration mounting, Quartararo admits the break is well-timed, but not a surrender. I'm happy to be going on holiday because, to be honest, it's been a very long first half of the season. But now it's time to enjoy and catch up with friends. His tone was calmer than in Germany, where a better finish produced even harsher criticism. At Brno, realism replaced rage, but the hunger for progress is intact. Fabio Quartararo's Brno race was a microcosm of Yamaha's entire 2025 campaign, structured, sensible, but fundamentally limited. A new setup couldn't fix recurring grip and braking issues, and while the Frenchman stays loyal and pragmatic, he knows changes must come. The summer break offers a pause, but unless Yamaha finds answers, the script may not change when racing resumes. Miller rocketed off the line in the Czech GP, leaping from 10th to 8th and slotting in behind Jorge Martin's Aprilia, where he established a confident rhythm. I had a decent start, better than in the sprint, and was feeling pretty good. I found a good rhythm behind Jorge and everything was fine until about 7 laps from the end. Jack Miller's statement. With tire concerns in mind, Miller rode conservatively but cleanly, keeping pace without overtaxing his rubber while shadowing the returning champion. 7 laps from the flag, Miller tweaked his engine braking setting, only for the system to bind, costing him vital rear-wheel retardation at turn 3. I changed the engine brake setting, and pretty much at the same time I started to struggle in turn 3. The clutch was binding up, not giving me any engine braking. What should have been a fine-tuning adjustment instead neutered his stopping power, forcing him to brake earlier and lose positional defense. The binding clutch left Miller unable to feel downshifts or gauge his gear, making precise braking nearly impossible as contenders bore down. It was difficult to tell which gear I was in, you couldn't really feel the downshifts. Deprived of critical feedback, Miller was forced into guesswork, leaving gaps that Brad Binder, Fermin Aldeguer, and Pol Espargaro exploited on the final lap. Binder and Espargaro swept by on the last tour, demoting Miller to 11th at the checkered flag, before Aldeguer's penalty post-race reversed the order. I had been able to brake pretty late to defend, but once the issues started I had to leave some margin and became vulnerable. Miller's late lap hopes evaporated as he fought to rebuild confidence in every braking zone, his improvised approach allowing small gains but never enough to stay ahead. A 3-second penalty for Aldeguer vaulted Miller up 1 spot to 10th, leaving him 14th in the standings as the series pauses for summer. I'm not happy with the last 3 laps, but it is what it is. While the points boost provided a modest consolation, Miller knows the fix for his Pramac Yamaha must come before heading back out. With the MotoGP field idle until August Suzuka 8 hours, Miller shifts focus to endurance duties, hoping time away will yield solutions for Pramac. Brno's engine braking drama forced Jack Miller into on-the-fly reinvention, turning a routine race into a mechanical lesson in adaptation. Though he salvaged 10th by dint of a penalty, the episode underscored the fragility of setup tweaks when the bike misbehaves. Now, with the summer break beckoning, Miller and Pramac Yamaha face a clear mission: restore braking harmony before the championship chase resumes. Thanks for watching ZNGP today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!